Hey folks, welcome to How Youth Leader Works. This is Eric, founder and director of Youth Leader. So I have the best knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes and what magic arrows you have in your quiver and what magic wands you can wield to introduce, sustain and evolve youth leadership at your school, in local chapters of organizations, your workplace, public space and other places. So, looking at the front page, we are here, and your most important sections for making youth leader work are the media, all kind of media, print, multimedia, self-print media, for long-term presence like posters and others, and our methods and services supporting you to make things really awesome. It all begins with the inspirational stories of young and adult heroes. This we know. Experience tells us this, and it's evident. If you look at the inspirational videos in this section, you will know what I'm talking about. People across age groups, across cultures, all over the planet are super inspired by these videos. The most inspirational videos I've ever seen. It makes me feel like get up and do something too. The most energized lesson ever. Students are inspired and want to get involved. We hear this from everywhere. And that's what we all want, right? So these media are very powerful. The trick now is how to use these media to make youth leadership omnipresent at school and build up action. That's what our methods are for. On this page, How Youth Leader unfolds at school, you see how all this builds up. I will look at these media, methods and services on a different page where we have slideshows to make it easier to look at. Let us begin with the videos. I already mentioned them, and you can view some in the Welcome section and Discover Youth Leadership. We have the stories of dozens of young changemakers as posters, which is really cool. You can use them as teaching tools, but also as exhibits for long-term presence. Imagine this in your workplace, in your classroom, in corridors. This is how you reach a large audience of a long time, and this is how you change worldview and how you develop impact and also build community. Each poster has QR codes to most inspirational video clips and online profiles of these young heroes. So you can use smartphones in class and when going through exhibits to see these super inspirational clips. We have these stories as card game also, which is a very versatile and very powerful teaching tool. You should have this in class. It's really the big stunner, very powerful. They have the stories on the back and QR codes also. We have powerful music. We even have a musical. We have action packs explaining how to take steps to replicate these solutions, with interviews, articles, the websites of these changemakers and more. You see, we also have outstanding adult changemakers in our community. We also have comics for the very little ones and primary school, and this is one example of interactivity between you and us, because we invite artists and arts classes in turning our hero stories into comics using our storyboards. Then we have curricula, powerful ebooks by experts, the United Nations, our own publications and more. We have a rich scope of social media that you can interact with to make youth leadership present in daily life, contribute and share with your networks. So, and here are our methods. Let's begin with a Spark session, or our starter session, which is a 90 to 180 minute exercise using our inspirational videos, posters and card game to involve students, select their favorite causes, use action packs, formulate mission statements for taking action, replicating the solution like the hero did by taking steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they're practically able to take action. This inspiration we want to keep in class through the entire school year. And to achieve this, it's enough to have a couple of inspired students joining the Youth Leaders Student Club Network or Youth Leader Warrior Clans to sustain a Heroines of the Month exhibit aligned with United Nations Days. We offer these every month. They already have a lot of these posters from the starter session. The class already knows a lot of the heroes, has a lot of appreciation for the heroes, their causes, and the student club members. They share the enthusiasm, and that's very powerful and different from what we are used to in classes so far. And they can use these for presentations on United Nations Days. They can even use Skype sessions for live meetings with these changemakers, videos and more, and they can cooperate with teachers to use this in units, subjects, and for special occasions. These inspired students can form a student club from primary school to high school, and they can do that as friends, also outside school, but we encourage student clubs at school because that's where you can tap into the superpowers of young people at school with a huge community and free infrastructure, working together for years and unfolding big impact. So this student club sustains the Hero of the Month exhibit, takes monthly actions with the changemakers, organizes Skype sessions and webcasts. Whoops, this should look better. Anyways, you can see it. This is a public exhibit. And it's basically using the posters in a public space at school to unite students across classes and across grades. Imagine just 1 or 2 students per class are inspired to join the Youth Leaders Student Club, taking action on all sorts of causes. That makes 20 to 50 or even 100 at a school. This is a very powerful learning environment for community building, sharing, developing projects, organizing lifestyle challenges, and more. Also to be used by teachers. This is very powerful. So far it's hard for student clubs or any organization to sustain such a space, but we have enough contents and services to do so. That's very powerful. And for the ones who want to make change making their new sport and lifestyle, we have a very powerful leadership program that is designed as a reality game. That's for the Youth Leader Warriors and Warrior Clans, taking 3 monthly missions every month and building a very powerful CV, having media presence and more. So that's a wonderful method to empower your student clubs and of course to serve as assistant teachers in class. So on top of these methods, we have some services for you. And I already mentioned some of them. It's the Skype meetings and webcasts. We have 3 at least every month aligned with United Nations Days, which is very cool for teachers and young people because they can plan through the year by checking our annual calendar of United Nations Days. You can also connect to other days like Shark Weeks, Orang-Utan Days and more. We have speakers for you to visit you at your school and for events. We can organize youth action days and other things. And we have field partners for you. Schools love to do this, but so far it's difficult to have really attractive field partners, young change makers in the field, where you get visual feedback that you can meet by Skype and see success unfold over time. Our field partners are young and adult superheroes that you can work with, and you can even visit them during holidays as a volunteer, report on your experience back to school and local media, and thereby even scale your impact and support for them. It's very exciting, very wonderful offer. Then of course there's our student club community, because your local student club is not alone. They're part of student clubs around the planet to share their activities and achievements, celebrate together, design projects of their own, and share it with the global community and find support. Very exciting. Then of course there's our youth leadership program, Change Generation Rising. There's our action packs, which is also unique. They're so rich, very powerful for young activists, and they're fabulous teaching tools, and they're also a wonderful service to the change makers themselves, which allows them to equip their supportive communities to spread their mission nationwide and globally. Our media, of course, are also good service, and we work with you to make them better. They evolve in 19 languages, so you can use them in foreign language in every part of the world. That was our services. And all together, this can unfold like this. We want to have youth leader media and the spirit of youth leadership omnipresent in our classrooms. So how do we achieve that? We have the posters year-round, aligned with United Nations Days, and inspired students can make presentations, can organize Skype sessions. Here's the card game, that's our most versatile resource. They can make printouts and use them in class, and they have the fabulous videos. And many of the heroes the student club members will already have met, so they really become experts to make contributions on many, many things. After your first session, the starter session, this is the perfect scenario. 2 or more students, and there's a really good chance that there's 2 who just waited for this all their life, can present to other classes. So from 2 classes you may already have 6 inspired students, and together they can form a student club, and you may have 20 or 40 or even 100 students at the core group or the supportive group. And through constant presence throughout the year, you can mobilize support for fundraisers and special actions for people's favorite causes from the entire school community. That's through the presence in class. And normally student clubs are invisible to the rest of the school. They're somewhere on Wednesday afternoon in room 340, nobody sees them. But with youth leader exhibits, this changes. And the impact in media creates demand for them as speakers. This we know. And with all our offers and what they have to offer, there's a good chance that they will spark student clubs at other schools. Now imagine doing this in 10 schools, then you may have 500 or 5,000 students. That's very powerful. So go for it. Whoops, that was the wrong way. So here you see how this unfolds over time. After the starter session, you have a 2-pronged development in class with presentations to others, the exhibit, joining a webcast, and in the student club with 3 monthly actions, a fundraiser, a project, and a lifestyle challenge, with webcasts, presenting in other places, getting into media, organizing starter sessions in other schools and other classes, and creating their public exhibit, the aisle, an informal sustainability learning environment, the favorite hangout and gathering place of young change makers at your school. From here, they also reach into all the other classes. This is another recent overview graphic showing a more illustrated view of our tools, media, methods, and services for students and teachers. Here are our websites, the main website that you're currently on, the speaker's website, the Change Generation Rising website, that's our reality game and student support program, and the Youth Leader curriculum, which unites all these things. So here is a four-pronged view. It all begins with the media and class. So our favorite approach is to motivate donors and philanthropic clubs to invest in 100 card games and our education starter pack for 100 classrooms and for public libraries. This already reaches a lot of young people and can make a wave of cascading impacts. So in class, you have the starter session, you sustain presence through the exhibit every month, you organize a presentation, keep up the exhibit, presentations again in the next month, maybe have a chance for a Skype session. And inspired students join the student club, who organize the public exhibit, the Aisle, with 3 monthly actions, have a big impact, and have presence in public through media at other schools and events, and spark more clubs. And they interact with the global Youth Leader Changemaker community. And some of them choose to join Change Generation Rising, our reality game and Youth Leader training program. Here's another overview looking at how these things evolve, looking at the individual items. Here's the start session with the videos, card game and posters. Then there's further study on their online profiles, sustaining presence through the exhibit, organizing webcasts, Skype meetings, activities at school and beyond, founding a student club, taking bigger actions with more impact. Some become warriors and start a warrior clan. Connected with Youth Leaders' social media, they're ever more inspired, taking 3 monthly big actions, gaining more media presence, speaking at other schools, sparking more clubs, developing a well-evolved Aisle, scaling major global campaigns, developing own projects, and then everything becomes unpredictable. And after a year or two, they may actually also be featured as Youth Leader heroes in our materials. So in all this can also be put together in this beautiful graphic. This is the Youth Leader curriculum. So it looks at this a bit more in a formal way of education. It begins with a starter session in class, and after that the inspired students sustain monthly presence through an exhibit and a presentation. Exhibit, presentation, exhibit, presentations, aligned with United Nations Days. This is something that the teachers can very well appreciate in class because it contributes to units. And imagine this across 10 subjects. If every teacher agrees to include 1 or 2 presentations throughout the year when they fit their units and their favorite United Nations Day, with 10 subjects it already makes 20 presentations, and that's 2 per month. So every 2 weeks you would have a presentation, and through this we really make youth leadership and global sustainability solutions omnipresent in class. Really part of formal education in very soft ways. A few things by teachers when they choose to use the media, use music in music class or the musical, but mostly completely student-powered by the Youth Leaders Student Club, the passionate ones, the experts whose expertise grows through the years and over the years by maintaining the public exhibit and taking 3 monthly actions, connected through social media with the Youth Leader community of the world's finest change makers, meeting Youth Leader speakers, organizing workshops with them, also for class and for their clubs, each month getting the current posters and videos for their public exhibit and for use in class. It's very simple. From that also they develop their own initiatives of lifelong value. And there we are. We have entire classes and entire schools growing up every day with presence of the finest young change makers, solutions and hero role models on the planet. Considering that 80% of human behavior is shaped by role models, and much of it subconsciously, copy-paste, this is the best we can do. The benefits for teaching culture is fantastic. The benefits to have role models and active assistant teachers are fantastic. The benefits for inspired young people who want to do something for the world is extreme. They can make this part of their lifestyle every day. And they can organize their student clubs equipped with lots of materials. They can find their peers and global family across classes and grades. And they have meaningful things to do. They are connected to a global community. And their tools and offers are defined and well understood for use in education by teachers and appreciated by the main student body. So far, many young changemakers are bullied and ridiculed as tree huggers by their peers, and that there's no time for this by the teachers, which is awful. Because at the same time, the teachers are complaining that young people are not caring enough about the planet. It's psychopathic, and now we can change this. So join us and use our methods. And this is how Youth Leader works. It's very simple. It starts with a starter session with super inspirational videos that no one can resist. The Youth Leader card game, which, oh, cool card game, instantly gets everybody's attention, and the posters, which then naturally stay as an exhibit year-round. So, and time is moving incessantly, keeps rolling. This is why the slideshow keeps jumping forward by itself. And there's no time to wait, you know? So get started on this beautiful process, get your media, and become part of the movement. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.